you guys, I've got a great recipe to share with you today using the Instant Pot pressure cooker. You know, I really love hummus and it's delicious and it's really good for you. Garbanzo beans are a member of the legume family, so they have lots of fiber, they've got lots of phytates and lots of phytonutrients. They're really awesome for you. Unfortunately, traditional hummus also has a lot of oil. And I believe Dr. Caldwell B. Esselstyn, award-winning cardiologist, who says not even one drop of oil is good for you. So I don't use oil when I make my hummus, and I also don't use salt. And so I'm going to show you how to make delicious oil-free hummus in the Instant Pot pressure cooker. And just to make it fun, I thought we could do it two different ways. So I'll show you what we need for our recipe. I took a 1 pound package of garbanzo beans. Garbanzo beans and chickpeas are the same thing, so if you see the package says one or the other, don't worry. And I already have it heating in my Instant Pot because it goes a little faster if you get the water hot already. And I've been soaking my, I like my garbanzo beans to be soaked first. You don't actually have to soak beans with a pressure cooker, but I like the texture a little bit better if I do, so I have been. So these have been soaking for a couple hours. And to the Instant Pot pressure cooker, I also added 6 cups of water. So 1 pound of garbanzo beans soaked, and then 6 cups of water. You can change out the water if you want to between the soak and the cooking of the garbanzo beans. I don't like to because I really want the garbanzo bean liquid, which a lot of people call aquafaba. You can do amazing things with aquafaba, and you get a little better quality of aquafaba if you don't rinse the garbanzo beans in between. So now I'm going to put the lid on the pressure cooker, and I want to make sure that it has this little vent pipe back here, if you can see that. And I know you can't see it, but one side says venting and one side says sealing. And so whenever I'm cooking with the pressure cooker, I always make sure that it's on sealing. And then I put it on the Instant Pot. And when it's aligned just right, it'll sing me the little song. Right now it's warning me that it's not aligned perfectly. There we go. This hardly ever happens, but of course, since I'm filming it, it is. Hang on just a sec here. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Okay, there we go. Got it on there. Okay, so it's super easy. If you can manage to get the lid on, it's super easy to make garbanzo beans for hummus. Couldn't be more simple with a pressure cooker. The Instant Pot, you just click on the manual button. It's automatically going to go to 30 minutes, and that's all I have to do. So it's literally put the garbanzo beans in the pot with some water. That tells me it's starting to cook it, and it's going to bring it up to pressure. And then it'll cook for 30 minutes, and then it'll come down. And that'll give us plenty of time to make our recipe. So what I thought I would do is use some garbanzo beans that I already made earlier today in my pressure cooker, in my Instant Pot. And so this is 4 cups of garbanzo beans and some of the liquid. And that liquid, you can see it slosh just a little bit, that's that aquafaba. You might wonder, what the heck is aquafaba and why do I like it? Well, aquafaba is really cool because it has a lot of the similar texture and properties of an egg white. So you can do things that you could do with an egg white, and you don't have to support the egg industry, which is not anything I want to support. You can make meringues with aquafaba, and you can make what I call a vegan egg for baking, which is 1 tablespoon of ground flax seeds to 3 tablespoons of aquafaba liquid, and it makes a wonderful egg-like thing that binds your recipes together. Like an egg would be a binder in a meatloaf or something like that, or in a baked goods. Aquafaba with a little flaxseed does exactly the same thing. And gosh, it's great for you because it's got those phytates, and the flax seeds have the lignans that are so good for you. So I'm going to be using these garbanzo beans. And it's actually still hot. That's why I was using the hot pads. I'm also going to be using 3 tablespoons of organic tahini. Now, you may or may not use tahini. I do actually go ahead and use tahini because while it is high in fat, it's a healthy plant fat, and it only uses 3 tablespoons in the whole recipe. And so since I limit my fat everywhere else, I feel comfortable having a little bit of tahini. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in. If you don't like it, you can leave it out and it'll still be yummy and delicious. You might want to add about 3 more tablespoons of the aquafaba liquid to replace the volume of liquid that you're not using from the tahini. The other thing that I'm going to put in it is the juice of 1 lemon. Got this nice cute organic lemon. And some garlic. Now my family really likes garlic. See those beautiful garlic cloves. So we're actually going to be using 4 garlic cloves. Now that might be too much for your family, so just adjust that to your taste. But garlic is a wonderful thing to put in your food because according to Dr. Michael Greger, who wrote the best-selling book, How Not to Die, it is the most anti-cancer vegetable. It is the most anti-cancer plant that we know so far of the ones that they've tested. And it also is antiviral and antibacterial, and it's really yummy. It makes things taste great. So I'm going to go ahead and put those garlics in there. Okay, and then for a salty taste, I don't use table salt anymore. But I do like my hummus to have a little bit of a salty taste. And so I use something called Benson's Table Tasty. Benson's Table Tasty is not salt, but it tastes kind of salty. And it's really a yummy taste, and it goes great with this hummus. Unfortunately, the only way I know how to get Benson's Table Tasty is online. I had to order it, and maybe there's another way to get it, but I think that you have to order it. And I really like it. Now, if you don't have it, you could also use dried celery flakes, and that would give it a salty taste. Or some people prefer their hummus without a salty taste, so you could make it that way too. All right, so to actually make my hummus, I'm going to be using my food processor. And I've put in my S-blade. Now you can see I don't really have a lot of fancy equipment. I've had this food processor for 10 years. It's a Black & Decker, and I think it cost me $40. It's really been a workhorse. It's done a great job for me, so I'm really happy with it. I'm going to go ahead and put it on the base and add my garbanzo beans. Be careful not to burn yourself. Okay. And I'm going to start with 4 cups of garbanzo beans and 1 cup of that aquafaba liquid. And that's what I'm going to start with. I also have reserved a little bit of that aquafaba liquid in case I need to add more. But I am going to have a couple of other wet ingredients, so I'm going to go ahead and add those. Meanwhile, you can see that my Instant Pot pressure cooker is come up to pressure now, and it's at 29 minutes we'll have more garbanzo beans, and we can make more hummus. All right, so now I'm going to put in the tahini. I'm going to put in 3 tablespoons of the organic tahini and just kind of dribble it all around. Tahini gives it a nutty sesame seed taste, and it really makes it taste a lot more like traditional hummus, which is why I go ahead and use it. So got the tahini in there. Now I'm going to add the juice of 1 lemon. And again, no fancy equipment needed for this. You can just, I got this juice, this lemon reamer free in a bag of oranges that I bought. So that was pretty cool. So you do 1/2 and then the other half. And usually I roll my lemons before I try to juice them. It just makes you get more juice out of them. It's a little trick, but I don't need a whole lot of lemon juice for this recipe, so that's going to be plenty. You want to make sure you never get the seeds in there. The seeds are very bitter. They're really good. You can make cleaners out of them, but you don't want to eat them, or you don't want to put them in your hummus anyway. All right, so there's my lemon juice. And now I'm going to go ahead and put in my table tasty. And could you use salt if you don't have table tasty or you don't have celery flakes? Yeah, of course you could use salt. You're going to want to start with 1½ teaspoons. So I'm going to put in 1½ teaspoons. And you might be thinking, why would I want to limit my salt? Well, there's a couple different reasons that a person might want to limit her salt. One is that salt has really been implicated in hypertension and got kind of stuck there. So I'm putting it. So, which is high blood pressure, which is really, you know, a dangerous condition that's affecting a lot of people these days. And so you want to be really careful about that. The other thing is that salt will make you overeat. If you put a lot of salt on your food, a lot of studies have shown that you'll eat more of the food if it's really salty because it will taste good to you. So to avoid that and to enjoy foods that aren't salty, I just leave it out and I use the table tasty, or I just go without. And a lot of times I like it just fine. What happens is that your taste will adjust to whatever you get used to. And so if you don't use salt regularly, then you'll get used to not having it. All right, now I'm going to put in those garlic cloves. I've got this kind of cool garlic press that I got from the Pampered Chef. I really like this one. It's got a nice big hole to put the garlic in, so you can use bigger garlics because, hey, more garlic, more yum. So let me put that in. And then you can just pull the little garlic thing out by the tail. So see how I didn't have to peel that? It's pretty nice. I can put 2 small ones in. So I'll put in 2 small ones. There we go. And just pull it out by the tail. That's nice to be able to do that because then your fingers don't go around smelling like garlic. I like garlic so much that I don't mind if I smell like it. Maybe I'll have a garlic perfume. All right, there's my 4th clove of garlic, so I'm ready to blend it up. And I'm just going to use the edge of my knife to make sure that the garlic got in there. Kind of sticks to the side sometimes. Put the lid on. And then we're going to blend it up. Is all there is to it. Look at that. That looks really yummy to me. I'm going to go ahead and try some. My spoon out. I started with hot garbanzo beans, so I'm blowing on it. I'm telling you, this tastes just as good as any other kind of hummus that does have oil. You will not miss the oil. and your arteries will be so happy that you left it out. Okay, I don't want to turn this into a mukbang, but I want to show you another way that you can have your hummus. So we've got the one, we made our regular traditional hummus, and now I'm going to scoop out about half of it, and we'll have half be our traditional hummus. I'm putting it in my bowl. I like to store things in glass bowls, you know. There's a lot of evidence that's coming to light that perhaps we shouldn't be using any kind of plastic bowls or containers for food storage, because plastics give off neuroendocrine cell interrupters. And people heard about this a lot with bisphenol A, or BPA, but they're finding more and more kinds of plastics might do the same thing. So just to be safe, I like to store things in a glass container. My delicious hummus that I'm really wanting to lick the ladle for, but I'm going to keep it classy, and I'm not going to lick the ladle in front of you. Besides, I want to show you how to make another variation of this really tasty dip. And this is sweet potatoes. If you guys know me at all, you know that I love sweet potatoes. Not only because they're so good for you with all that fiber and that beta carotene and the delicious sweet taste, but also they're so satisfying. They really fill you up. And because I don't really eat sweet food, they really taste good to me, and they taste super sweet. And sometimes they'll be like a dessert for me, because I just don't eat sugar other than that. And so I'm going to go ahead and take about 1 cup of peeled sweet potatoes. And guess how I made these sweet potatoes? In my Instant Pot. Sweet potatoes are super easy. You cut them up, you put them in the Instant Pot with a cup of water, and you put them in there for just 3 minutes, and then turn it back off and let it come down to pressure naturally, and you get some nice sweet potatoes. And let me go ahead and put those into the blender into the food processor with the rest of the hummus that I didn't use. And we're gonna make sweet potato hummus, and it's gonna be really good. Just scoop up some of the hummus that got on the side there. All right, one more quick blend. All right, and I'm just gonna grab a rubber scraper to help that come out. You can see it has a pretty orange color, but it's just really subtle. Nobody is going to say, "Oh, this is so sweet. Did you put sweet potato in there?" or anything like that. They're just gonna like that flavor. I'm gonna try a little bit. It's just really mildly sweet, but it's creamy, and it just gives it a little something. And it's an unexpected kind of treat that you don't expect. Speaking of unexpected things, my favorite thing to do with hummus, besides putting it on carrots and celery sticks and cucumbers and using it as a dip for my veggies, which I love to do, but it also makes a great salad dressing. I know that sounds kind of unusual, but it's so thick and creamy, it almost makes it, I don't dilute it or anything, I don't add extra water. I just take it how it comes, and it makes it almost like a ranch dressing, and I really like that garlicky taste, and it's just super yummy, and it's another way to get beans. Dr. Michael Greger says that beans are so important, he wishes that we would eat them for every single meal, including breakfast. So it's a way to get beans into your lunch and stuff. And maybe you don't, you know, maybe you're not used to eating a lot of beans, but it's an easy way to add some beans, and it makes a creamy, low-fat dressing. If I would have left out the tahini, it would be a fat-free dressing, and it would just be creamy from the beans. All right, so we have regular hummus, oil-free, delicious, perfect with veggies, or sweet potato hummus. Kind of a little surprise, and it's sweet and creamy and really, really good. Try either one of them. Try making some garbanzo beans with your Instant Pot. One last reason to make your beans, besides the fact that they don't taste like a can, they're nice and fresh, you don't wonder how long they've been on the shelf, but also they're so much cheaper. I paid less than $2 for this package of garbanzo beans, and look at all the hummus I got, okay? And I still have more in my container, okay? If I buy even a small package of hummus at the store, not only would it have oil and salt and things that I really don't want, but it also would cost probably $3.99 for organic hummus, or maybe just a little bit less for non-organic. So it's really economical. It makes a ton, and so you can have friends over and enjoy hummus together. And with the Instant Pot pressure cooker, it's so easy. There's no excuse not to just go ahead and make them. In the time that we've been talking and making the recipe, my beans are more than halfway done. 30 minutes is crazy fast for beans, and that's why I love my Instant Pot pressure cooker. And I love you guys too. Please tune in next time for more vegan recipes, salt-free, oil-free, and a little surprise, I am going to be coming out with a cookbook of some of my recipes in probably the end of September. So look forward to that also. Hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.